And welcome, sports fans, to today's Roundtable, and glad you joined us for today's show as we've had quite a week, actually quite a couple weeks here on YHC and CMOSportZone.com, bringing you the best of high school basketball action in the area across, of course, Sparklight Channel 21 and local GoSemo Fiber Channel 95, and of course on the Misha.tv platform for online postseason district and state tournament broadcasts for this postseason. And we've got some great games left to bring to you over the next week, and we'll get to the games that we've brought to you here in the last week. Certainly the Class 4 District 1 championship game from last night in Dexter, New Madrid County Central and Dexter, and the Class 2 quarterfinal between Campbell and Valley Catholic. We've got highlights of both of those contests, and even going back to earlier in the week, Campbell and Alton sectional highlights from Tuesday night earlier in the week. So an impressive week of basketball in the area, and we've brought a whole lot of it to you through our networks with GoSemo Local 95 and Sparklight Channel 21, and we got even more to come to you this week here on both of those networks. So some great basketball, some district champions crowned this week, and certainly the smaller schools heading into the Final Four for this coming weekend. We'll go over those matchups that'll be coming up in the Final Four for classes 1 through 3. And classes 4 through 6 just wrapped up their district tournaments last night, and now heading into their state tournaments with the sectional round coming up this next week. So we'll be taking a look at those current state brackets going forward for all classes 1 through 6 for boys and girls, and also taking a look at those highlights as well as post-game interview we had with Coach Steve Fowler, our own Tommy Jacobs, with Steve Fowler up at Valley after their win, after Campbell's win over Valley Catholic yesterday, Friday night, and we'll have that post-game interview with Steve Fowler as they head into the Final Four off their victory. So a lot to get to for today. Let's get into those matchups from this week. Let's start off with the games from last night. And first, starting off with the Campbell and Valley Catholic contest, that Class 2 quarterfinal taking place up at St. Genevieve at Valley Catholic High School, and Campbell getting an impressive road victory over the Valley Catholic Warriors, 68-61, and the Campbell Camels advance on to the state Final Four in Springfield for Class 2, and what a run it's been for the Campbell Camels as it continues on here in this state tournament as they come away with that victory in the game that we brought to you live yesterday here on Channel 21 and online as well. Let's take a look at some highlights from that contest. Let's get it queued up here. All right, we got it ready to go. Let's take a look at the game from Valley. And we see here early on, Valley getting a nice start here. They started out 9-0 to start the game, but Campbell really getting into form late in the first quarter. We'll see a nice runner there and a three-pointer earlier by Siebert. And here Fowler, nice step-back jumper at the mid-range, knocking that down. Here into the second quarter, we're tied up at 12. Three-pointer up and good there for Valley. Here we see Fowler with a nice spin move up into the paint. Great finish for Blake Fowler there for the Camels here, and Valley hanging tough through much of this game here. And a nice finish once again. Blake Fowler there on the right side. Charlie Parker, nice drive with the left hand. And we see here, don't recall the name here, but 24 having a big game for Valley. And you see here stepping into another three-pointer, knocking that down here into the second half. Hits another three-pointer on that left side, keeping the Valley Warriors in it. And we see here a nice drive once again, a little scoop up in the paint, basket, and the foul. Valley making a nice run in that third quarter. But here into the fourth, Charlie Parker with an impressive basket. Here a nice pass. That's Fowler to Camargo for the finish. And we see here into the fourth, Campbell really starting to look for the victory here. Camargo with the bucket. And we see there the post-game celebration as the Campbell Camels victorious over those Valley Catholic Warriors 68-61, and you see there small court, small gymnasium there up at St. Genevieve at Valley Catholic, and Campbell having to go on the road to take on the Valley Catholic Warriors, securing that victory to move on to the state Final Four in Springfield to take place this next weekend. And we're going to take a look at the post-game interview with Steve Fowler in just a moment, but a great win for Steve Fowler and the Campbell Camels as they secure that Final Four berth, their first ever in Springfield this next week. And also, let's take a look at their game from Tuesday night. We got their game from Tuesday night as well. Let's get that queued up here. Yeah, we got the Alton game, the Alton sectional. Quite a game this was, going back to Tuesday night. Of course, a victory for Campbell preceding this Valley Catholic game. Tuesday night in Campbell, great finish there as Campbell was down 20 points at one point at the start of the second half, come all the way back, even avoided overtime, and got the win in the last few moments of that contest. And we'll take a look at it here. Let's go to the game Tuesday night in Campbell here. And here we got a nice drive and finish there for Parker to get Campbell's going early. But we see here Alton answering back there. Caden Siebert, nice three-pointer at the top of the key. And here three-pointer in the corner, knocking it down. Alton really starts to make a run here at the end of the first quarter. We see Cisco there with a nice turnaround jumper. Elbow jumper, gets the roll. The Alton Comets starting to pull away here at the end of the first quarter. We see Christian Orr there with the finish for the Comets. Nice dump down there to Camargo from Fowler. And this is where Alton's really tough. At 10-foot in jumper, they were really efficient with that. And we see here a nice putback and the foul. I believe that was Charlie Parker on the putback. And we see here a nice little jumper there at Cisco, or at back once again. Another jumper there. Well, they were just really tough with that throughout the night. Here into the second half, here's where they go up 20 points, 37-17, just a few minutes into the second half. Siebert stepping into that three-pointer. And here Alton answering with a bucket and the foul here midway through the third. Fowler really starting to find his way, knocking down that elbow jumper in the transition. But Alton still making plays here. Another one right there in the paint. Charlie Parker stepping into the three-pointer towards the end of the third quarter, knocking down that three. Siebert stepping into one of his own. You see Campbell really start to cut into the Alton lead at this point. Blake Fowler knocking one down at the start of the fourth. And we see here a nice little free throw line jumper. The Comets still up in the fourth quarter here by 8. Cut it down to 5 with the Siebert three-pointer halfway through the fourth. And we see here Cisco pulling up with the baseline jumper there. And Fowler, tough basket up off the glass in the transition. And here to win the game, Blake Fowler with the steal, takes it in for the score. And before it got away too quick, let's take a look at that again. And it come down to the end. It was a 50-50 tie game. Alton had the ball, run the clock down. It was at around 6 seconds where I think it was Cisco made a move and to dribble to his left right into the defense of Fowler, who's basically reached, knocked the ball up, able to knock it to himself to take it the distance and lay it up with about 0.3 of a second to beat the buzzer to get the win for the Campbell Camels in that sectional. We'll take a look at the last few plays here, and here it is. At the end of the game here, we see it. There's Fowler getting the steal, laying it up at the buzzer. Just to beat the buzzer is a walk-off layup for Blake Fowler for that victory, 52-50, to advance on to that quarterfinal where they did beat Valley Friday night. So what a finish there. What a great effort it was in that second half for the Campbell Camels to come back by 20 points. They were down 37-17 early in that third quarter. They were down 16 at half. So Alton came out, scored 2 buckets to go up 20 points. Things did not look good at that point. Knew Campbell had to get off to a great start. They didn't. It was Alton getting the first few buckets to go up 20, And from that point on, it was all Campbell. 37-17 ended up being 52-50 for the Campbells in that final score. So that's what 13, or that's get this right. It's a 35 to 13 run to finish that game. 35-13 run by the Campbells to win that game in the end over the Alton Comets in that sectional round. So a great performance by the Campbells, and finding themselves in the Final Four now after a great week of basketball. Certainly that quarterfinal round didn't have quite the dramatics of that sectional round, but nonetheless a great victory for the Campbells to advance on, and good luck to the Campbells going forward. Take a look at their Final Four matchup coming up, as well as we're going to have the post-game interview from Steve Fowler from that quarterfinal game up at St. Genevieve at Valley from Friday night. So we'll take a look at that in our next segment. So let's take a look at the other games from the area last night. Let's take a look at the we're going to stay in the quarterfinal rounds in the smaller schools. Live for Life Academy over Thayer, and that one was 62-54. Live for Life over Thayer. Thayer had a nice sectional round victory over Charleston, a decisive victory. I think a 17-point victory for Thayer over Charleston in that sectional, which was quite impressive. Many would have expected Charleston to come away with a victory in that one over Thayer, but Thayer got that sectional victory coming off a Class 3 District 1 championship over Portageville, in a game that we brought to you last week as well from Twin Rivers High School out of Brosley. But Live for Life Academy advances on to the Class 3 Final Four over Thayer. Then in the Class 4 District 1 final, also we had in the Class 1 quarterfinal, it was South Iron over Delta. Big. It was about, I think, 105-59, I believe. We had it in there. Thought we did, but South Iron big over Delta. Delta season comes to an end at the quarterfinal. Made another quarterfinal appearance. Chris Hahn, the Delta Bobcats, have another fine year and losing the quarterfinal round once again. Lost to the eventual state champion last year in Dora, and then very likely could be the eventual state champion this year in South Iron. So Delta could be going down 2 years in a row to the state champions in Class 1. So South Iron advances on to the Class 1 Final Four. And then the Class 4 District 1 Final, the game that we brought to you live last night as well here on Sparklight Channel 21 and Go SEMO Local 95. And as well as online, New Madrid County Central over Dexter 68-48. And it was all New Madrid in this one. It was competitive for about the first half of the first quarter, pretty much the first quarter, and then from that point on, New Madrid built a lead and kept it, and just an impressive showing by the Eagles. They've had a great last month, decisive victories across the board, still undefeated. They swept the conference schedule, and including their whole season as well, and move on to the Class 4 state tournament, and with a decisive win over the Dexter Bearcats. Bearcats, very good team, had a very good season, just coming up with a couple losses against New Madrid. Had one of the best games we've ever had earlier in the season, the regular season matchup over New Madrid, and this one didn't quite live up to that one, but certainly just a great performance by New Madrid from beginning to end. Taking a look at this matchup from Friday night, and take a look here. Early on, this B.J. Williamson, a heck of a game. Great finish there at the rim for Williamson. Here we see Jackson Allen taking the assist for the three-pointer, knocking that one down early. And Donnie Brown knocking down that left corner three-pointer. And here, a nice runner here from Cole Nichols off the glass. And we see here, that's Donnie Brown again from that left corner. He's just total money from that corner, knocking that one down again. Here we see, I think it was Kenyon Keith there for the finish for the Eagles here. Nice putback and foul. And here we see B.J. Williamson taking the steal, taking it all the way in for the layup. Here towards the end of the first half, that's B.J. Williamson once again. Rebound and putback. He had a big night for the Eagles. Here we see Nichols taking it all the way for the score. Here at the end of the first half, Kylan Menor knocking down the three right at the buzzer, and extending the New Madrid lead going into halftime. And we see your nice high-low action there. Jadis Jones with the finish. Here we got Andrew Ellinghouse knocking down the three. And Jones coming up a little short on the dunk, but put back with the follow-up there for the Eagles. Here we see a nice basket and the foul for Williamson. And Williamson, once again, the transition so good at the rim, as you see there. And here, nice basket there. I believe that was Nichols for the Bearcats. And put back and the foul for the Eagles here. The end of the third. Seeing a three-pointer, B.J. Williamson knocking that one down. And here a little mid-range jumper there for Andrew Ellinghouse. And here's a break, 4-on-1 break for the Eagles, finished off by Trey Tippler. And it was here Jackson Allen stepping out, a little step-back three-pointer, knocking it down. And it was here numbers once again for the Eagles, basket up and good, and the foul. And we see here New Matter doing a great job getting out on the break. As you see there, Williamson with another finish. And nice put in there for the Bearcats late in the fourth. We see here Driscoll going to put one in towards the end of the game. But in the end, it was New Matter County Central's victorious and winning the Class 4 District 1 championship, their first district championship going back to 2015 when they went to the state Final Four and come away with third place. And now playing up in Class 4 as we extend to 6 classes and playing in the Class 4 state tournament. So the undefeated season continues for the Eagles, and an impressive performance last night for New Madrid, winning that district crown. Great atmosphere, great environment last night. I knew it was going to be a great rematch for these two teams, but New Madrid just took it to another level last night. They've done that over the last month, playing their best ball of the year. You say that, they've been undefeated all year long, but just taking a look at the game, the wins they've had over the last couple of weeks, certainly the Sikeston win, that was a 50-plus point win for New Madrid over Sikeston, coming into the district tournament, winning a decisive game in the semifinals over Kelly, certainly into the finals over Dexter. It's been a great run for these Eagles. They're not done yet. We'll take a look at their matchups going forward into the Class 4 state tournament. And take a look at some other games in the area. Sikeston with an upset victory over Notre Dame as the 2 seed over the top seed Notre Dame Bulldogs, 69-54, playing this final in the Cape Central Junior High School, which was previously the senior high school gymnasium. Of course, Cape Central building a new high school campus along the interstate there, and the central campus, the old campus right there in the central part of Cape Girardeau. The huge gymnasium, they played it there certainly for the space that it provides there at that large gymnasium. And Sikeston getting a decisive victory over Notre Dame. Impressive victory. Notre Dame finishing very strong, second in the CMO Conference, and looking good here towards the end of the season. Just come up a bit short against the Sikeston Bulldogs, where Leroy Atkins had a big game. We'll talk more about that one, but Sikeston with an impressive victory, securing that Class 5 District 1 championship. And also, we've got the Class 6 District 1 final. Seems like every year these two teams match up in the district championship. Once again this year in Class 6, it was Poplar Bluff, the second seed, knocking off Jackson 49-42. And Poplar Bluff wins the Class 6 District 1 championship game and advancing on to the Class 6 state tournament. And moving on to the girls. The girls' Class 1 quarterfinal, it was South Iron over Delta in a close one, 65-63. So both the boys and girls South Iron teams advance on to the Class 1 Final Four. And the Class 2 quarterfinal was Ellington over Oran, 59-51. So Ellington advances on to the Class 2 Final Four. And Lift for Life Academy in the Class 3 quarterfinal over Twin Rivers, 64-58. Lift for Life Academy advances on to that Class 3 Girls Final Four. And for the bigger schools in Class 4 District 1 championship game, the top seeded New Madrid County Central Lady Eagles defeated second seeded Doniphan decisively, 70-35. Really nice senior class in this New Madrid County Central Lady Eagle team, advancing on to the Class 4 state tournament. So look out for the Lady Eagles. Got a really good team once again this season. And in the Class 5 District 1 championship game, top-seeded Notre Dame over second-seeded Cape Central, 56-36. So Notre Dame come up a bit short. Didn't come up, not from any of their responsibility from last year. Went to the state Final Four in Class 4 last year, but the pandemic cut the Class 4 and Class 5 Final Four short, so they only finished the season as semifinalists. Didn't get to have the opportunity to pursue that state championship, but back into the Class 5 state tournament this year with that Class 5 District 1 championship victory over Cape Central. So Notre Dame has a chance to get back to that class, or the Class 4 last year, but certainly to the Final Four in Class 5 this year as they advance on to that state tournament. And the Class 6 District 1 championship game, it was Jackson as the top seed knocking off Northwest of Cedar Hill. That was a 61-29 victory for the Jackson Lady Indians. So the Jackson Lady Indians basketball team advance on to the Class 6 state tournament. So we will take a look at those brackets here momentarily, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we got a post-game interview with Campbell Coach Steve Fowler talking about their victory in their season so far and advancing to the Class 2 Final Four in boys basketball. We'll have that, as well as those matchups for all the classes 1 through 6 boys and girls tournaments coming up.
You need. At Bales, we want. If you or your loved one has disabilities that cause you to need a little help, Boot Hill Area Independent Living Services can provide the assistance you need. At Bales, we want you to have control of your life and assist you in thriving in an independent lifestyle. The Consumer Directed Services Program allows you, the consumer, to choose who assists you in conducting your daily activities. Bales serves Stoddard, Dunklin, New Madrid, and Pemiscot counties. Call or visit our office in Kennett to see how we can help you maintain your independence.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve with home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Dexter, talk to State Farm agent Chris Brannon today.
And welcome back, and now let's take a look at the Campbell Camels advancing it to their first ever Final Four. It was just a week ago we were talking about Campbell winning its first ever district championship, and now we're already talking about Final Four appearance, first Final Four appearance for the Campbell Camels in its school history, and an historic season that continues down in Campbell with a great senior class and a great coach in Steve Fowler as they extend their impressive season into the state Final Four in Springfield to be held on later this weekend. And our very own Tommy Jacobs got to have a post-game interview with Coach Fowler yesterday after the contest, after their win. And we'll take a look at that interview that Tommy got to have with Coach Fowler just yesterday. So let's take a look.
Coach Fowler, congratulations on a fine season, and what a game tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an unbelievable feeling. I thought our kids played extremely hard tonight. I thought they did what we asked them to do tonight. But you gotta tip your hat to Valley. They got a great basketball team.
Sure.
And they got kids, they got size, they got guards, they got kids who can play. They got a stud. Number 24 is a stud.
He is a stud. You bet you
he can play.
So proud of your kids. They just keep fighting and fighting. And they're not going to give up. They've never give up all year long. They keep battling. And man, we're going to Springfield.
Yeah.
And how about that?
Unbelievable. I mean,
sure is.
It really hasn't set in yet, I don't think.
You won't sleep.
No.
Because you didn't sleep over the district game. You told me that.
No.
And
the sectional game was crazy.
Yeah.
And then tonight, I mean, this team here was a great team, but I really am proud of how our kids come out and competed tonight. And they played extremely hard, and they did a lot of things right tonight. And I just unbelievable. I'm just blown away.
I know you are, and you know, congratulations to them, you, the entire Campbell school system, the entire Campbell School District.
Yes.
And we're so proud, and everybody, I'm sure, back home, you can't believe the people that were texting us and everything, saying they were tuned in. Malden, Kennet, Hall, Clark, everywhere. Arkansas, over in Arkansas. Some from Florida, some from Georgia.
Yes, New York. We got some in New York. I mean, it's just unreal. The support from down south, from the Boot Hill. I mean, I'm getting text messages all the time. The support today in our small community at Campbell. The people come out today. We had a big parade coming up this way, and it's just unbelievable the amount of support that we're getting from our community and from other communities down in the Boot Hill.
Terry and I were talking. Of course, you know we can't film anymore because we're going to stay. We're going to ask Tyler. We don't know if it is. We don't know what Tyler's going to say about it. If we could go do audio, bring it back to Channel 21 for the people back home that can't make it, and we'll see what he says. But he's extremely covered up, and myself, I certainly appreciate him for all he does for this high school athletics.
Yes.
Takes two old men like us to drive all the way up here. But you know what? When they threw that ball up, we were like 20-year-old men. We were so happy. And you know what? I was dissatisfied with coming up here because it's not the biggest gym, but we were treated so good. What a great bunch of people.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Hey, Valley has treated us like kings. I mean, they did a great job hosting tonight, and they treated us like good people are supposed to treat other good people. And I'm very appreciative for Valley and for them hosting, and very thankful.
That's what the man up above tells us to do, treat everybody right.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Steve, congratulations. Very proud of you.
Thank you, man.
You're an excellent coach, and I'm proud to call you my friend.
Thank you, Tommy. Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys covering us. I appreciate you for all the stuff that you do for our communities down that way.
Well,
thank you so much.
Tell them boys we're really proud of them. And I'm going to get off here and turn it over to Terry, let him wrap it up. I've said about all I know. I can say that in about 5 minutes. But we're proud of you.
Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it.
Well,
and as you see there, Tommy Jake is having a nice word with Steve Fowler. Tommy Jake's an old Campbell grad himself, Campbell native, and great for him to be on hand for that, to call that game along with Terry McVeigh up at St. Genevieve, and Coach Fowler and his team continuing his great season into the Final Four. Wish them the best of luck going forward, and they'll have a great opportunity to compete for a state championship over there in Springfield. So we wish them the best of luck, and certainly they've got the opportunity to make history, extend history. They're making history every round they play in, certainly since coming off that district championship, and every game is just making history for the Campbells this season. So look out for these Campbells. They could certainly come away with some hardware after next weekend. And we'll take a look at their matchup here in just a moment. We just want to take a look at some more headlines from Friday night as New Madrid County Central extending their undefeated season. It continues. I think they're at about 25-0 now, if I'm not mistaken, with that victory over Dexter Friday night in that Class 4 District 1 championship. And another historic season here for these Eagles, an undefeated season. I believe it's certainly New Madrid's never had an undefeated season, regular season even, that I can recall. I'm a New Madrid grad myself, and I certainly don't recall in the school's history having an undefeated season. So certainly an historic season in their own right there in New Madrid, going into the Class 4 state tournament going forward. And it's a special team. It's an odd team just because usually you can see these teams coming along for a few years, especially if you're expecting an undefeated season. But certainly some underclassmen have really contributed to this team and to where they are today. Jadis Jones and B.J. Williamson, certainly the two players as freshmen that have really contributed greatly to this team, but certainly another freshman in A.J. Ruff really stepping in and making a great contribution. But these seniors have really been in the mix for the last few years. Certainly Donnie Ray Brown, Kylan Minner, those kids have been there for the last 3 and 4 years in the program that are just steady and really provide a lot of great leadership for the team this season. And certainly other Marcellus Phillips, does a lot of great things. Doesn't just wow you in the box score, but he does so much around the rim and defensively for the Eagles. And Shamara Williamson, another great guard that handles the ball well, attacks the paint, and provides a lot for that Eagle backcourt as well. So this is a well-rounded team. Got a lot of young talent, but a lot of great experience in the upperclassmen as well that really bring this team as a great cohesive unit. And you can tell as they're just behind each other the whole way, whether it's the youth really standing out or the seniors really providing the leadership. It's a great unit. Coach McFerrin and his staff's done a great job with this team this year, bringing along the young contributors as well as the senior leadership, putting that together, and it's been a great year for these Eagles. Look out. This is an historic team trying to make an historic run this year in Class 4, and they're just getting started. The district championships, only the first part of the journey. They're now into the state tournament, and best of luck to the Eagles going forward. We will be following the Eagles as far as they go here on YHC Sparklight Channel 21, as well as Local 95 on Go Semo Fiber. So you can be sure to follow the Eagles as far as they go right here on our cable networks, as well as the online broadcast through the Misha TV platform. We will follow the Eagles going forward. And also talking about Sikeston and their upset over Notre Dame. This Sikeston team really made a nice run in this tournament. Got a semifinal victory over Cape Central, and then following that up with an impressive district championship victory over Notre Dame. Notre Dame's been a steady force throughout the year. They finished second in the conference behind New Madrid, and they got an impressive victory over Dexter going back to last week. And looked good finishing the year, and really looked good to win this district championship once again, get into the state tournament. But Sikeston had a great showing behind Leroy Atkins, 38 points. This Leroy Atkins, certainly an all-conference player, is going to be an all-district. He even got a great shot at being an all-stater this year with the performances he's had. And we've seen some big nights from Leroy Atkins. The games that we showed, he had 46 against Campbell, 38 against Notre Dame last night. He's had some big performances this year, and probably none bigger than he had last night to get that district championship for the Bulldogs up at Cape, at the old Cape gymnasium, the old Cape Central High School gymnasium that's now the junior high, and they played that there, and Sikeston just pulling it out. Impressive run for Coach Hallfield and the Sikeston Bulldogs heading into the Class 5 state tournament, and we'll take a look at their matchup going forward. But Sikeston looking really good in that district final over Notre Dame. It wasn't even a close one. It was a 15-point game, 15-point victory for the Bulldogs. Kind of a shocker there. Not necessarily that Sikeston won, but probably in the manner that they won. You would think it'd be a close one down to the end for the Bulldogs, but not the case. Got an impressive victory over an impressive Notre Dame Bulldog basketball team last night. Congratulations to the Bulldogs, and good luck going forward as well. And the New Madrid County Central girls win their Class 4 District 1 championship game over Donovan. Big win there, 35-point victory for these New Madrid County Central Lady Eagles. And a great senior nucleus they've got there, led by Tylee Bird. It's a Division I signee going to UT Martin going forward. And a very talented class they've got there that's been there in the mix for the last number of years. They dropped a heartbreaker to the same team last year in Donovan. That was down in Kennett last year, I believe. And heartbreaking loss. I think they were up close to or at 20 points in the game. Donovan come back and won that game in a close game down to the wire. So a real heartbreaking loss for those Eagles last year. And Tylee Bird wasn't on that team. She wasn't on the Eagles team last year, and now she is this year, so certainly makes a big difference having Tylee Bird versus not having Tylee Bird, and certainly with her in the mix this year, pulling away with that district championship, and certainly another year of experience for these Lady Eagles, getting that victory over Donovan. So nice story for these Lady Eagles advancing on just as the boys into their state tournament in Class 4. And we're going to take one more last break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at all of those state tournament brackets, 1 through 6, boys and girls. We'll have it all for you and see what all the teams got coming up next.
We want to make people feel warm and welcome when they walk into this facility.
Being part of a community-based bank for me is the top priority.
It's like you come in here and you're like, everyone knows your name kind of deal, you know? It feels pretty good, you know?
And believe it or not, my kids even look forward to coming up here to the bank. So
I am Matt Tanner.
I'm Scott Kim.
I'm Becky.
I am Dickie.
And I am.
And I am.
I am First State Community Bank.
A few days ago, we had a customer come by the Kent dealership looking for a new truck. I had a really good visit with Phil and our salesman. Phil had his Army t-shirt and Army cap on, retired military. We're so proud of our troops, our active and veterans like Phil. Phil left in his new truck. We all enjoyed the visit. Best price, best service. Glenn saying, God bless our troops.
And welcome back, and now let's take a look at the state tournaments going forward for all the boys and girls classes 1 through 6 for the state of Missouri going forward. And first off with the Class 1, boys Class 1 state Final Four over in Springfield. That'll be South Iron matching up against Higbee. Higbee up at the north central part of the state, just above the Columbia and Jefferson City area. And South Iron looking to win a state championship. They've had a number of teams get pretty close or have the capability of win a state championship, but they've been one of the teams that most talented programs that haven't won one in the last probably decade or so, and got a good chance this year to come away with that state championship. And the other semifinal, St. Elizabeth taking on Mound City Craig. That's one school, Mound City and Craig together taking on St. Elizabeth. And in Class 2, in the Final Four, the Campbell Camel is going to take on Norwood. And Norwood, pretty good program. They've been in the Final Four a number of times, probably in the last decade. They are like 23-5 on the year, I believe it is. Campbell right around the same, but certainly Campbell making up its losses against mostly SEMO conference schools like Notre Dame, Charleston, Sykeston. That's been a number of their losses this year. And I think the only other one coming to Scott City, I believe it is. So Campbell going to be matching up well with any of the teams they match up at the Final Four. And it's going to be Norwood in that semifinal game over in Springfield. And the other semifinal, Salisbury taking on North Andrew to make up the Class 2 Final Four. And in Class 3, Live for Life Academy taking on Hartville. Hartville getting a big win over Greenwood in the quarterfinal. I could say that's the unofficial state championship between Hartville and Greenwood. Both of them defending state champions. Hartville won I believe it was might have been the Class 3 state title last year, and then Greenwood won the Class 2 state title, I believe it was last year. So now both playing in Class 3. Hartville knocked off Greenwood. Once again, they played in the regular season and won the matchup yesterday as well. So Hartville taking on Live for Life, and then Monroe City taking on Summit Christian in that Class 3 Final Four. And moving on amongst the big schools here, Class 4 state sectional round. These are the top 8 teams. There's 16 teams total in the sectional round, but here's the top 8 teams that are more relevant to our area. New Madrid County Central taking on Park Hills Central. That'll be a Tuesday night game at New Madrid. New Madrid will host that contest against Park Hills Central Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. We will bring that to you here on Sparklight Channel 21 and Local 95 on GoSemo Fiber, and as well as online on the Misha.tv platform. You can watch that online on a pay-per-view basis or watch it on your local cable, whether that's on GoSemo Fiber or New Wave and Sparklight. New Madrid County Central will host that game against Park Hills Central. Will be on hand for that, and looking forward to that matchup. And the other matchups in the sectional round, that's Roosevelt versus Vashon. Vashon, the top-ranked team in the state in Class 4. New Madrid ranked 2. That's pretty much been the case all year long. And then Blair Oak, the winner of Blair Oaks and St. James in that district final, taking on Buffalo. And then Ava versus East Newton. And the Class 5 state sectional round, Sykeston taking on North County. Sykeston will host that matchup Tuesday night at 6 against North County. Then Lutheran South versus St. Francis Borgia. Rolla versus Bolivar. Then Logan Rogersville versus Nevada. So Sykeston going to have a tough out there with North County. North County, very good team this year, and at least they got them at the field house at home. But should be a tough matchup for the Bulldogs against a very talented North County team. And in Class 6, Poplar Bluff, coming off that district championship over Jackson. In the sectional round, they will take on Oakville. They will host Oakville for that Class 6 sectional round. That'll be Tuesday night as well at 6 o'clock. Then the other matchups, Marquette versus Chaminade, Jefferson City versus Waynesville, and Nixa versus Kickapoo. And take a look at the girls Class 2 Final Four. The girls 2 Class Final Four, that's Ellington versus Blue Eye, and then Scotland County over Wellington Napoleon. So Ellington going through a few of the local teams here. They went through Holcomb in the sectional round and then Twin Rivers in the quarterfinal round. So Ellington putting together a fine postseason and into the Class 2 Final Four. And in Class 3 Final Four, Lift for Life Academy taking on Steelville, and then Tipton versus Skyline. And the Class 4 state sectionals, Class 6 state sectionals we have here. Poplar Bluff taking on Oakville as well. Got these wrong here. Okay, let's take a look at the girls' Class 5 state sectional. It's Notre Dame taking on North County. And Ursuline Academy taking on Union. Then West Plains versus Willard. Then McDonald County versus Carl Junction. Then the Class 6 state sectionals. Class 6 state sectionals. Jackson taking on Coruscant Academy. Then Marquette versus Webster Groves, Jefferson City versus Central Springfield, and Nixa versus Kickapoo. So Jackson into the Class 6 state tournament as well in the sectional round. Didn't get the Class 4 girls in there, but New Madrid will be taking on Park Hill Central for their state sectionals, and those are taking place, I believe, Monday night. New Madrid is going to be taking on Park Hill Central in that Class 4 state sectional contest for girls Class 4. So those are your brackets going forward for boys and girls state tournaments. We got a number of teams still in the mix here. Certainly the Camels already in the state Final Four in Class 2 for the boys. And the bigger schools, a number of bigger schools, that's New Madrid, Sykeston, Poplar Bluff for the boys, and then for the girls, New Madrid, Notre Dame, and Jackson for the girls. Still in the mix amongst the bigger schools. So quite a number of teams still in the mix going forward in state tournament play. And the broadcast we'll be bringing to you, we'll certainly bring the New Madrid and Park Hill Central broadcast here on Sparklight New Wave Channel 21 and local 95 on Go Simo Fiber Channel 95. Tuesday night at 6. We might have another broadcast in store. We'll just see what we're able to pull off. But that's certainly the one that we will certainly carry Tuesday night is New Madrid and Park Hill Central. So I'm sure to look out for that one coming out Tuesday night as we will follow the New Madrid County Central Eagles going forward in their quest to go to a state Final Four and extend their undefeated season. And we'll have those replays. You can watch those Dexter New Madrid replays throughout the weekend, as well as Campbell and Valley Catholic. You can even go to our website at yhctv.com and check out those broadcasts. And CMOSportZone.com will have those broadcasts available to view as they're now available on demand going forward. You can watch those anytime there and watch the replays here on our TV networks as well. And that's going to do it for us today. Busy week here in high school basketball as a lot of seasons are coming to an end as we're now heading into the spring sports season, but certainly quite a few teams battling out to extend their seasons into state tournament play here in Missouri. So we're going to wrap it up for today. We appreciate everyone for tuning in as always, and we'll see you next time. And until then, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have yourself a great weekend.